What's going on, guys? Happy Sunday. It is a beautiful day out in the nature preserve. It's kind of windy, so hopefully the audio will do well. I figured since a lot of people are kind of getting a little bit more interested in Autel drones, I would show you guys today essentially how I fly and what I fly with my Evo 2 Pro 6K. I've went through a bunch of different displays. I tried my Crystal Sky, I tried the Triple Tech, I tried different lift door mounts and Skyfire mounts and all kinds of different little combinations, and I just want to let you know what I've been using and kind of finalized as my choice for flying the Evo 2 Pro 6K. And again, Autel, really cool drone. They're coming out with a new Nano and a Light on the 28th, as a lot of people well know. So again, Autel is really starting to kind of come out with more drones, and it's hitting more people, and a lot of people may have questions or a little bit of confusion on what the reality is when someone who is actually working with their drones for a living, what they're going to kind of choose. So right now in this case, I have the actual case that they sell, which is for the Evo 2 Pro series, and this is the case that I recommend. Personally, I think it's the best case out there. I've looked at other cases like the GPC. I haven't used anything other than this one, but to me, there's no reason to go any further. The one that Autel sells, they have it included in one of the bundles, but I bought it separately on Amazon. It's around $200, I believe. Totally worth it, works really well, and gets my thumbs up. Got a little Hawaii representation on there. But again, let's go into this and open it up. Whoop, as I smash my one battery. So this is one of the batteries I have. I just brought it with me because I couldn't fit it inside this case. And inside the case, you will see we have essentially Evo 2 Pro 6K. I got a Firehouse strobe on it. I have these batteries are actually, let me see, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is where the controller goes, but since I'm modded my controller a little bit with the Skyfire mount, it doesn't fit in here anymore, so I carry it separately. Let me go and keep this over here in this little bag. Whoop, there we go, in this little bag. So I got a GEP-RC bag that I had for one of my little Cinewhoop drones, and in this bag, I essentially keep the standard remote, not the smart controller. Here we go. So I'm gonna set that guy down, and I keep a little USB-C, or USB-A, I'm sorry, to Lightning with the 90-degree angle. And I think I got this from Drone Valley. So this little bag and this case is essentially what I carry when I'm on a job utilizing my Autel Evo 2 Pro 6K. So I'll set this bag aside, and then I can keep another battery in this bag too, in the side pocket or something. So essentially, usually I have one in the drone, 4 in here, and then maybe 1 or 2 more in this bag. So that's a total of 4, 5, 6, 7, roughly 7 to 8 batteries I would carry on a job, but really you can get away with 4 to 6. And again, this case will carry with the controller, if you were to keep it in there, 3 little slots for it, 1 in the drone, and then maybe you can put 1 here where I think the hub goes, but regardless, this is kind of my setup here. So let's go ahead and get the drone out, and I'll show you just again, Evo 2 Pro 6K, props are on it while I'm traveling or keeping it in the case. And here we have the drone, beautiful orange. I think I am gonna buy one of the lights, not the light, the Nanos, and I would pick orange. I think orange for the win is definitely Autel. So we got this guy right here, the drone, gimbal cover. We have what else in here? I got spare props. I got the low noise props, which I don't use, and then a couple other sets of regular props in case I have an issue with these guys. I have a set of the Evo 2 Pro filters. So this ND filter set is sold. These are the Autels. It has an ND4 2-stop, an ND8 3-stop, an ND16 4-stop, and an ND32 5-stop. So basically, these filters can get me the cinematic footage that I want and need out of this drone. They're around $80. I'll put a link in the description below. Firehouse strobe in case I am flying at night. Again, I do have my 107 with Pilot Institute, and we have gimbal cover, 6K, and what else? Again, the standard remote. So this is the standard remote. The antennas are up right now because it's in the little travel mode. I just kind of set it on its side in the bag. But the antennas, just so you guys are aware, should be facing downward like this. So boom, that should be how you're flying with the antennas for optimal range. With your Evo 2 Pro, of course, if it's right above you, you can angle them like this, but this is normal flying. The only little thing, this mount right here is the Skyfire mount, and the only thing I wish they made it a little bit higher so you could set it down, but all I have to do is kind of put the props up a little bit, and with this little mount, it sits down perfectly. I choose to use my iPhone, so I actually had the Smart Controller. The Smart Controller is a really beautiful display, as a lot of you guys have seen, but for me, it was just too much to carry around, and I didn't like the sticks being so far apart for smoother cinematic flying. It probably is a better search and rescue type controller. It's a beautiful display, not knocking it at all, but I figure I'd save my money, return it, and get something else. And I've tried, just so you're aware, my Crystal Sky for my Inspire 2. That was very laggy with the Autel Explorer app, so I opted not to go that route, and I've heard other people say the same thing. So anyone who's trying to use their Crystal Sky, it's an older version of Android and it just doesn't seem to keep up. And now TripleTech, they actually just came out with an 8-inch version, which I believe is Android 10. They're 7 inches, I believe, Android 9. And for me, I was still having the Autel Explorer app crash with the TripleTech Pro, and they were really kind over there, but for me it wasn't working out, and it just became another device that was becoming just kind of a workflow issue, and I just didn't enjoy the lag. I didn't enjoy the app crashing. It really was getting in the way. When you're flying and trying to get a shot and you have something that you got to mess around with, it just wasn't enjoyable, so I returned the TripleTech as well, and I'm opting to use my iPhone. So I got an iPhone 12 Pro Max, I got an iPhone 13 Pro Max coming very shortly. It has a little bit more nit, I believe a 1200 max brightness nit, but probably it will hover around 800 to 1000. This one I believe is topped out at 800, the 12 Pro Max. But the iPhone, without a doubt, is the smoothest experience, minus the fact that it force dims on you when it's a really hot day. So there's no real getting around that. The iPhone is the smoothest for sure. The iPhone is the most stable, consistent device and display to use for using your Autel Explorer app. So this little iPhone 12 Pro Max, this is the Skyfire mount right here, literally slides right in. They have different mounts you can use. I'm just choosing to use this little Skyfire one, and I have the little bracket, so it adds a little bit of rigidity to the controller. It gives it a bit more solid feel. And what else do I have? I have this little piece so it will rest, so I can actually rest it down. And then I have the little USB-A goes in here, and I just kind of wrap it around there, and it kind of doesn't get in the way. And there we go. So this is the way I fly my Autel Evo 2 Pro. And again, this is after trying my Crystal Sky Ultra 7.85 inch. This is after trying my TripleTech, and I still reverted back to the iPhone, and hands down, it gives me the most confidence in flying my Autel drone, and I would suggest that's where you start. If you want to try something else, go ahead and feel free. Obviously, a lot of people do enjoy the TripleTech with their Autel. I don't know if I'm being picky or I'm just having bad luck, but again, I had the Autel Explorer app crash on me multiple times. So to me, less is more. The Smart Controller, as I said, wasn't for me. They're hard to even get. This is a version 1 Evo 2 Pro. They're producing the version 2s now and the version 2 Smart Controller. So again, you can't use the new Smart Controller, the version 2 with the version 1. But regardless, I'm hoping this kind of gives you a little bit of info if you're new to Autel, because it can get confusing, especially coming over from DJI. This has probably been almost a year of having my Autel. It's probably the best move I ever made, because now I have something to compare DJI to. I never had anything to compare it to. You only know DJI, you only know DJI support, you only know DJI, you only know DJI support. Autel has Autel Care, which is comparable to the DJI Refresh. They don't have a 2-year plan, they only have a 1-year plan. But again, Flying the Autel, first off, it doesn't have geofencing, so that's kind of nice in certain situations, but again, that's no reason to just fly anywhere and not pay attention to the airspace you're in. So again, fly legally. This doesn't give you the green flag to fly your drone wherever you want, whenever you want. So still look at Aloft, their air map, and see what the airspace is doing and fly by the laws. But without a doubt, I mean, I'm really excited for the 28th just to see a new drone drop. The light version apparently is going to compete with the Air 2 and the Air 2S and give you that smaller type platform. And then they have the Nano, which is going to be comparable to the Mini 2. So Autel really is putting a lot of energy and effort into getting their drone game up and going more so than it already is. I mean, they are obviously a strong company. I don't know a ton about them, but they seem like they're changing the management around. They got John McBride, they got people who are really knowledgeable in the drone industry on their team, so can't see anything other than good things coming from this company. And again, it's nice even if you have a DJI and you're a DJI fan and you love DJI and you can't see anything else, buy an Autel and just try to see, have something to compare it to. If you have nothing to compare it to, you really don't know if it's better or not for you. So for me, Autel is definitely a company that I enjoy flying and a drone that I enjoy flying. I like the fact that it's orange. As I said in some videos before, the simplicity of the color may seem kind of goofy, but it's easy to see. It's a pleasure to fly and just enjoy it. So I'm gonna probably buy the Nano in orange on the 28th if they actually allow us to do so. I don't think I'll buy a light because that really doesn't serve a purpose. I already have an Evo 2 Pro, so I got the 1-inch sensor and I got obstacle avoidance built into this thing, and I got probably a lot more than the light will have. But the Nano is something kind of cool, so I'll be doing a review on the Nano very shortly when I get it in my hands. Again, I'm going to order orange because orange for the win. Orange to me is Autel, and I don't want to get anything else. Again, the visibility is cool. Maybe the red would be cool, but red's kind of associated with anger and aggression, so orange is just a nice subtle color, and it's what I'm choosing. But regardless of that, I'm going to get my iPhone 13 Pro Max very shortly. I should have it by the beginning of October. I will do a video on the iPhone 13 Pro Max or the iPhone 13 and the Autel Explorer app and show you and tell you how it runs on iOS 15 and how it looks and just how everything seems to be going. So hopefully that's a good smooth flying experience. Hopefully it does not auto dim on us as quickly as the iPhone 12s have. But again, that's about it. If you guys have any questions or comments, let me know. Let me know if you're going to be buying an Autel Nano or an Autel Lite, if you have an Autel or you're thinking about buying one. But again, literally one of the coolest things that I've done in my drone life has been buying something other than DJI, because now I have something to compare it to, and I'm really happy with this drone. It's just a drone that, again, with the battery life, you got these batteries that give you roughly, say, solid 30 minutes or 35 to 40 minutes. They're rated for 40 minutes. But again, if you have 4 of these or 6 or 8 or whatever, you can fly to your heart's content because you have plenty of time to be up in the air. You have that much more peace of mind because you're not rushing to come up and come down like you are with something that has like a 20-minute fly time, for example, like my Inspire 2. But again, Skyfire makes this mount for the stock remote. It's very inexpensive. I believe it's like $70. I'll put the links in the description below. I could be wrong. I'm not even sure. I forgot. But I'll put a link to this cable as well. I got to buy another one. It's good to have a few of these cables in your camera bag in case something happens. But I believe this was from Drone Valley. It's just a USB-A to Lightning cable for an iPhone at least. You can get one, I'm sure, for USB-C for Android. And it has a 90-degree to get into the phone a little bit more easily. And this really does give you a nice feel, and it just feels solid. This helps out the Skyfire mount, what I have, because it gives a little bit more rigidity. As I said, it doesn't feel as flimsy. These little handles don't kind of move around and flex. And then this little guy allows you to put the controller down without having it tumble over or something. So this is my go-to for my Autel. I'm hoping it helps, guys. Subscribe. Hit the thumbs up if it helped you out at all. And until next video, aloha, and let me know what you're going to do on the 28th. I am going to buy, as I said, a Nano in orange, and Autel gets a little bit more of my money. So thanks, guys. Peace.